grow up, Eiffel Tower. Grow up, Eiffel Tower. Why don't you grow up, Eiffel Tower? Bend those legs, flex those arms, give a smile, show some warmth. Competition is here to cause you harm. So why don't you buckle up and self-transform? Hello guys, this is Gagan Singh reporting today from the amazing Eiffel Tower in the French capital, Paris. And the point that I wish to say is that since morning I have been singing this song to Eiffel Tower, but it's not listening to me. So could you give it a try and ask it, grow up, Eiffel Tower. Why don't you grow up, Eiffel Tower? Well, I hope it will listen to you because it's not listening to me, but I'm sure about one thing. You will all listen to me. So let me tell you a story about grow up, Eiffel Tower. Thousands of years back in India, there was one legendary character, a great gallant warrior, one of the most just, noble and fair leaders ever, called Gangaputra Bhishma. In that epic of Mahabharata, Gangaputra Bhishma was the most undisputed, brave, fair and gallant character. Everybody used to respect him. And of course, as they say, gallant are the lives which have great endings. But very sadly, Gangaputra Bhishma had a very inglorious and tragic end. And that left everybody with hearts torn, that how come such a great, fair, neutral leader had such a inglorious demise? And the answer for that is given by none other than the divine Lord Krishna. He said Gangaputra Bhishma's greatest falling was his inability to self-transform, his inability to recognize that transformation is not a virtue, it's an essence of life. And for great leaders, it's almost imperative to continue to grow at every stage. Because the moment you stop growing, the moment you stop transforming, that's the time when you start blowing whistle against the wind, going against the flow of life. In the case of Gangaputra Bhishma, he took a divine oath to be loyal to the Hastinapur crown. And that oath during the earlier years helped him to serve the crown and take Hastinapur to great heights. However, when the crown fell into the hands of Duryodhan implicitly via his father Dhrishtrashtra, and therefore was on the mercy of the evil, vile Shakuni, Lord Krishna says it was imperative for Gangaputra Bhishma to have broken that oath and not been like that Eiffel Tower. Because Eiffel Tower is strong. Gangaputra Bhishma was also the strongest. Eiffel Tower is steady. Gangaputra Bhishma was also steady. Eiffel Tower is resolute and determined. Gangaputra Bhishma was also resolute and determined to honor the pledge of loyalty to the crown. However, like we just discussed, the moment the crown fell into wrong hands, Lord Krishna's grand divine thoughts were that it was imperative for Gangaputra Bhishma to self-transform even at the cost of breaking his pledge. He should have switched loyalty towards the larger societal welfare and sided with the Pandavas. In his inability to do so, he then demonstrated intransigence and rigidity to the old ways and therefore refused to grow and became that Eiffel Tower. The world around us is changing. And if we do not self-transform, if we do not respond to the changes, don't lead them, then we'll be left behind. As Gangaputra Bhishma's life tells to all of us that even if we are immortal, we may not be invincible if we are not ready to self-transform. Therefore, my beloved viewers, let me talk briefly about why do we have to self-transform. And the answer is a very rhetoric, famous line which goes, what brought you here may not get you there. The skill set which allowed you to reach at a certain level may not be sufficient to take you to the next level. So if you are, let's say, a college student, an MBA student, what brought you there was predominantly your academic excellence, maybe your CUET score, maybe your JEE score, maybe your CAT score. However, what is needed to go there to be the great manager of future are wider skills such as CLIP, communication skills, leadership skills, industrial knowledge and people-based relationship management, product knowledge. Because what brought you here was CUET score, what is going to take you there is the CLIP. Similarly, if you are a middle management professional watching this, then I have three very important leadership guidance for all of you. What brought you to that position of senior manager, AGM, DGM, was your execution skills, your ability to operationally execute projects. However, what is needed now to self-transform is to have a macro vision, to look at the bigger picture right from the top of Eiffel Tower to bottom. If you do not acquire that broader vision to look at bigger perspective, you may have a struggle going to the top. The second thing which you need to transform is on delegation. At junior manager level, younger managerial level, typically the ability to do things by yourself is prioritized. However, to become the GM, eventually the president, CXO, it's all about delegate, supervise, and monitor. So work on delegation skills, work on monitoring skills, work on being able to manage work by letting your subordinates do the work in right manner. However, the third and most important thing to transform for the middle managers is the mentoring ability. Great leaders are not necessarily those who make great profits or great strategies. Great leaders are those who create next generation of even greater leaders. So in your ability to self-transform, to become a mentor with compassion, EQ, communication skills, a grand vision, a larger heart to grow your juniors, is the ability to become a true CEO of the future. Therefore, my beloved viewers, from this most amazing, charming, enthralling city of Paris, from this amazing Eiffel Tower, what the tower beseeches to all of you is, no matter how many times we tell the tower to grow, Eiffel Tower won't. It can't. Gangaputra Bhishma couldn't, because probably he wouldn't. So please remember the final words inspired by this legendary Eiffel Tower and Gangaputra Bhishma. Like Lord Krishna said, even if you are immortal, you may not be invincible if you're not ready to self-transform. So please grow up, and self-transform. I love you all. God bless you. And here's a bye from an Eiffel Tower which is trying to grow, and Gagan Singh.